Hello and welcome to Finextra. I'm Emily Haller and I'm here with Paul Thomalla of ACI Worldwide, reflecting on 2015 highlights in the global payments industry. Thank you very much for joining me, Paul.
Thank you.
Has 2015 been a year of progress for the payments industry?
You know, it's a really interesting question, a simple question, but has real change happened? You know, I'm not really sure that it has. I think that immediate payments has clearly been a huge change. It's really into the psyche now of everyone within the industry. So you could say that that's change. I think that the PSD2 being written into law from an EU point of view, clearly that's massive change, and that will affect the world slowly but surely. But they are things that will happen. You know, they will be the big blocks that will cause change over the next couple of years. I think the biggest thing that we could really talk about is the fact that non-financial services players have joined the industry. The Apples of the world, the Googles, the social media people coming in, non-financial services players saying, hey, there's an opportunity here to provide service. And I think that's the really mainstream change that's happened. You know, and it's because of that that people understand what we now do, because payments was some dark thing that just happened and it was like magic. Well, now it's mainstream. So in terms of progress and in terms of customer service, I would say that's really the major thing that's happened.
So Paul, I know you've been around the world a lot recently talking about immediate payments. What's your take on the impact of this all?
Well, I think the fascinating thing is just to look at the differences in many ways. So, you know, on the face of it, everyone is moving down an immediate payments route, whether you're in Asia, whether you're in Europe, or, whether you're in the US. Everyone's saying they're all going down the same route. But in fact, they're all going at different rates and in slightly different views of the world. So clearly the US is starting down that path, but it's a huge country with a lot of financial services players and a lot of work to do, and they're only just starting. If you look at Asia, you see in Asia, apart from Australia, perhaps, most of the focus is around the P2P side of it and the unbanked. So that's a different take on the immediate payments play. Here in the UK, we've had it for years now, and we're kind of used to it. And that's a really interesting point to get across. I think when you are opposite the table to somebody and you've sent them a payment and it isn't there, and it doesn't go ping, people go, well, is it broke? Well, that's a huge difference in psyche and the way that people understand immediate payments. I think EU is going down that route. It's very strong. It's really driving it down there right now. But various countries are moving at different rates. And the reason for that is because some countries can literally see it as a first mover advantage for their banking infrastructure and therefore for their country. I think that is a really fascinating thing. I think that you will see some countries really come to the fore and be experts in digital banking because this is where it goes.
The blockchain hype has reached fever pitch this year. What's your key takeaway on blockchain in 2015?
I think it's that of education. I think the hype has been literally just that. There were certain parts of the year where whatever the question was, it was blockchain or it was Bitcoin this or what have you. But moving from a Bitcoin to a distributed ledger conversation is a huge step just in its own right. I think that is the key that we need to get our brains around. Clearly, this is a super technology that will bring major change to the industry, but it has its place. And a lot of its focus is either around the settlement cycles, where there are relatively few players that need to actually talk at any one time, or it's around the data-rich side on the trade side of the business. But is it going to replace ACH and cards? No, not for a long time. But the start of the education and getting into some working use case examples is really the key. But at the moment, there is just too much hype. And I think we need to get back down to the use cases. What's this really going to be good for? And there are some super use cases.
Paul, thank you for sharing your insights on the industry.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.